Good afternoon, everybody. As at 2 o'clock this afternoon, we are seeing right across different parts of the state extreme fire danger ratings being reached, particularly through the Hunter area. And as we indicated earlier today, this will only worsen throughout the afternoon as the weather conditions continue to deteriorate, and particularly those strong winds strengthen and become more consistent across the afternoon. Already we are experiencing 80 kilometres an hour across some areas up in the greater Hunter area, 70 kilometres across the Blue Mountains region, and as I indicate, those winds will only get stronger throughout the afternoon. We currently have 71 fires, 40 of those are not contained. 8 fires now are at EW alert level. There's one that will be going as we speak, which will make up the 8. Another 10 are at watch and act alert level. The 8 fires that are at emergency warning alert level is a Mile Creek fire near Woodburn, the Liberation Trail fire west of Coffs Harbour, the Thunderbolts Way fire near Nowandock north of Gloucester. We've got the Gulf Road fire near Tenterfield, and we've got the Hillville Road fire near Nabiac south of Taree. We've got the Warnes Road fire near Gyra, and we've got the Carrai fire west of Kempsey. The 8th fire that will be going to EW level is what we call the Reserve Road fire, again, which is just north of Gloucester and southeast of Nowandock. So we've got 2 fires developing in fairly close proximity to one another north of Gloucester and near the Nowandock area. We are getting reports of some properties being impacted and or destroyed on the Hillville fire south of Taree, and more details will unfold this afternoon. That's the summary as we speak.
Any residents having to be rescued from any properties that you're aware of?
I'm not aware of any rescues or extractions being undertaken at this stage. Depending on the particular fire ground, we have issued some messages about relocating now and moving to safer places. On most others though, we've indicated as per our advice for the last 24 hours, when we start triggering EWs, invariably it is too late to leave and the only option is to shelter in place as the fire approaches.
Any word on any injuries or anything?
I've not received any word on any injuries, either to firefighters or members of the public at this stage.
Do we have a number on the structures or properties gone at Hillville?
No, I indicated just then I've got initial reports of 3 properties being impacted at this stage. That's all I've got.
I understand people in Sydney's fringes are being asked to evacuate and move to safer ground. Which areas around Sydney are you actually?
We've made that pretty clear now for nearly 12 hours, 24 hours. If you are in fire-prone areas around the Greater Sydney environment, or indeed anywhere throughout these catastrophic areas, not being in bushfire-prone areas or bushland areas is the safest option. If you didn't leave last night, you should have left this morning, and indeed, across the Greater Sydney environment, and particularly the Illawarra Shoalhaven, where we don't have any new fire outbreaks at the moment, leaving now is still clearly a safe option.
Can you describe the mood on the ground? Is there any particular area where things are particularly tense for your firefighters on the ground?
I think you'll find right across every active fire ground at the moment, there is focus, there is resolve to try and do their very best to save and protect as much as they can. And of course, we've got thousands of other firefighters on standby, poised to respond and assist should any new outbreak or additional call for assistance be required from those already actively engaged in the firefighting effort. We just got to keep in mind that the afternoon is developing. We've still got many hours to go yet of today and into this evening. The conditions are expected to get worse. That is, they've still got a way to go before they reach the potential of the forecast. So we need to be mindful that more will unfold over the coming hours, later today and into the evening.
So while most of the emergency or the emergency situation is further north in the state, there's no room for complacency further south?
Absolutely not. Complacency kills. We cannot afford for people to be complacent. The fact that the catastrophic rating is there, that's the highest level risk available. Touch wood, we don't have any significant outbreaks of new fire at this stage causing any issue, but we still can't rule that out. I'm getting early indications of some new fires up in the Hunter region, but I'm still waiting on some detailed intelligence back on those as to whether firefighters have been able to get on top of them and suppress them, or whether they're getting larger and becoming uncontrollable. I just haven't got that detail at this stage.
Of the 8 emergency warnings, which fire is, which one is the most populated area?
All these fires through northeast New South Wales are close to population centres. That's why we invested very much in the predictive maps earlier today to show that these fires are getting closer to population centres. If you look at the obvious areas along the state, you would say the fires closest to places like Taree, Wingham, Port Macquarie, Kempsey, indeed Coffs Harbour. We've got EWs occurring at the moment west of Coffs Harbour. We've got them occurring south of Taree. They are examples of the fires that are at EW level that are close to fairly large population centres, but we can also advise that plenty of others are still at watch and act alert level, and the conditions could change there and those fires could be escalated this afternoon.
Just on ember attack, there was talk yesterday that perhaps we might see 30 kilometres in front of the main fire front. What are we hearing?
We haven't seen fires develop to the point where they're generating that sort of activity at this stage. Having said that, we do have a fire up on the north coast near Evans Head there to the west of Evans Head. The advice we've got from the incident controller is it's developing rapidly, it's burning very intensely and developing a very strong column of smoke, and we'll obviously be keeping a close eye on that throughout the afternoon because it seems to be rapidly developing under the dry, hot, windy conditions.
Are you hearing anything anecdotally from your crews on the ground about in those areas? Have people already left, or are they still coming across people defending?
No, the advice I'm getting is that in a lot of these areas, particularly those that were identified for potential impact today from existing fires, plenty of people have heeded the warnings and have left early. Obviously, others have chosen not to, and accordingly, our advice to those who still may be there is that it is too late to leave on most of these fires, and sheltering is now your only option as fire approaches.
There have been some questions about aircraft sharing with the United States and equipment. Could you describe what you have on hand from the United States and what you're prepared to use?
Oh look, we've got more than 100 aircraft deployed across New South Wales at the moment, either directly on firefighting operations or on standby to assist with new outbreaks. We are getting reports across a number of the fire grounds that the wind strengths and the erratic behaviour of the winds is such that aircraft are limited in some locations and indeed being grounded due to the strength of the winds and the turbulence of the winds. We have a range of large air tankers that we've contracted from our colleagues, large air tankers and heavy rotary helicopters that we've leased out of the United States. We've done that routinely now for decades, and we'll continue that arrangement into the future.
That arrangement usually starts on December 1st. Did you accelerate that or need to accelerate that?
Oh, look, for us, it started on December 1st, maybe a decade or so ago, but it's not unusual in more recent times that we've brought that forward to November and September with some of those particular assets, and we adjust that engagement process according to the outlook and the indications for what the season might have before us.
You had any reports of arson today?
Negative. No, I haven't, sorry.
Just quickly, in terms of the change, still forecast to hit around midnight for the mid-north coast?
Yes, it's still slow moving. I've got no indication to suggest that the change is moving any differently to what was forecast earlier today. Thank you very much.